Hey guys, welcome back to Flying in Space with Planet Head. It is actually still April 19th, 2023. I'm actually jumping in a little bit here on Pilgrim later on in the afternoon. Um, I am about to enter NPC Nullsec, so I thought this might be a good spot to get things up and going. My other character, normally I play him at night, Mr. Clarence Pilgrim, but there's a little bit too much action going on in the area that I'm in, and so I was going to just take a little bit of a break from him for the second and see if I can mess around with Pilgrim here. Um, if you watch the last two episodes, I don't want to go super deep into it, just doing a lot of exploring with this brand new character from the get-go. And going to start reaching out to a lot of the deepest regions of some NPC nullsec to see what's available out there, who lives there, what action goes on there, or non-action, so that way down the road, future corp stuff, maybe we have an idea of spots that we might want to move to if we ever want to move to NPC nullsec. So I thought this would be kind of neat because I'm going to be doing a lot of exploration. And the fact that this is a black screen while I'm waiting for this to boot up. There we go. I hear it. I hear it. Is it coming? There it is. Okay. So a little bit of an update as to where I'm at. Oop, that was my picture that I did earlier for yesterday's or earlier today's video. Let's go ahead and minimize that. And there is Dotlan. So right now I'm in Orville. Okay, it's been a while since I've done this sort of thing, but I'm in Orville right here. I'm about to enter Syndicate. Now, a lot of times these areas coming in from a high sec to a low sec and a low sec to a null sec, or a high sec to a null sec, if you can keep that straight, are gate camped. So what I'm going to try to do is do some quick reconnaissance of kind of, is there somebody on the other side? Just try to take a guess at it. And to do so, we can do a couple different things. The first thing, the easiest thing, is just to look at your dot land and look at each system that you're going to be going through to get in here. Ooh, this is interesting. So if you notice here, we've got multiple ship kills over the last 48 hours. So this is probably a heavily gate camped area. And a decent number of pod kills, which tells me even more that it's a gate camped area. Now, the only thing here is there hasn't been one in the last 6 hours. So that's kind of good. So that's one way we can kind of check things out. Now I want to check the next system over. Same thing. There is a little bit here. So, got, looks like 10 hours ago there were 3 kills. 7 hours ago, 3 kills. And then just 4 hours ago, 1 kill. Now, Dotlan is updated by the internal systems. So the second thing that we can do is come over to the internal map. 2 things I like to look at. This is, by the way, this is not foolproof. The best way you can do this is to have a scout in front of you so they can get killed and you don't. Or have an intel channel or something like that. But if you notice here, this is the 2 systems that I'm going to go through. Now, the one thing I also like to do is I like to come up here. I like to choose should be geography and statistics on the in-game map. And then I like to see how many pilots are currently in space. So by clicking on that, it will give me, we've got 1 pilot in system here, and 1 pilot in system here. And then, now this is the last 30 minutes, nothing along the next couple of roads. Okay? So, not too bad. Now let's check out and see. Now I just looked it up on Dotland, but you never know if something has happened just recently. What you can do is just click on ships destroyed in the last hour. Okay, those are my two favorite ones to look at. Got none here and none here. And if you remember on Dotland, it only showed nothing in the last 4 to 6 hours or so. So a lot of this involves patience. This is a good chance for me to try to shoot through here. You never know. The biggest problem that you run into areas like this is going to nullsec. So there can be warp bubbles that you have to watch out for. Now, again, if you remember the last two episodes, this is the most, literally, ship is only fitted out with what I got from the career missions, nothing else. So if I die, it just sends me home, and I get to start from scratch again. And I've given it a little bit of an IST, so maybe I can do a little bit better of a fit. This is just trying to get out there and have some fun. Now, let's say, well, I'll talk about that. Let's just go ahead and go for it. Now, one thing I like to do is take my local and put it right up here on the top. Now, a lot of people have different ways of doing this, but I like to put this right at the top here, just so I can see who is in system and who isn't. Now, this doesn't matter as much in high sec, but in low sec and null sec, it'll give you a good idea of quickly who to keep an eye out for. Now, right now, I've seen that it might be clear. This is a very good, so it might be a really good chance for me to try to shoot through here. We're going to find out. There's a good chance I might die right away.
Warp drive active.
Now the second part of getting in here is if I'm actually able to get into these systems. What I want to do is start setting up save points. First runs, just make a quick save point in each system just so you have some place to go. And if you come back through, okay, so I'm going into a -4. I got nobody near the gate. Somebody could be cloaked up letting people know, but you never know. Here we go. Is he going to die? Do I have a warp disruption fear? No, I do not. I do have an Astra House that is a free port. That is interesting. So I am, now if you notice, I hit Control B, brought up my save location, and as soon as I get off that gate, I'm going to hit the save. That will possibly save me in the future. It's super simple. It's just a hotkey, Control B, and allows me to have a save spot right near that gate if I ever come back through here. So if I'm ever worried about warping into it, I can do that. Now I'm warping right onto this Astra House, and now I'm tethered, and I'm safe. So that's pretty cool. Now, let's see here. If I remember correctly, it's locations. And then, is it enable compact mode? Nope. I did this the other day in a video, and now I can't remember what it was. So you can do, just try Shift L or Alt L. Nope. Okay. There it is. Okay, so this is the second thing that I like to do. So let's say now I'm tethered up, so I don't have to worry about anything for now. I still got to keep an eye on it. I have my local here. If I hit L for locations, hello, L for locations, it'll bring up all the locations that I have. And then if I come up here to my locations folder and I right click it, Wait, how did I just do that? Was it here? You guys... Oh, wait, is that it? Open in window. There it is. So you click on open in window right here, and this is the second thing I like to do. I like to take a locations window and have this up all the time. As I save spots in different areas, this will give me the ability to, rather than trying to find a warp 2 spot, if I've got pre-saved save spots in each system, I'll have them right there. Now, what I like to do too, if I've got a chance, is to edit the location and give me an idea of where this save spot is. So, safe, and then if it were near a station, I would put the name of the station. Notice, ooh, we got a prophecy right here. Interesting. Hold on, I need some coffee. And so the one that I just did was near Orville. So what I want to do, if I want to name the safe as the first 3 letters of it. I don't want to go nuts with it. ORV. There we go. And that'll tell me that that safe is within 14.3 AU of Orville. Now, if I were to go to a couple of different... Why is this guy getting closer to me? I don't like it. I saw you. There's a question. Was he trying to bump me off the tether? That's kind of fun. I swear it looked like that's what he was trying to do. Gotta be sneaky. That's something. So I don't know if this was what he was trying to do. Well, he just cloaked. I think he did. So I'm going to go ahead and... Or he docked up, one of the two. I don't know if this is what he was just trying to do, but if you're on a station, someone can fly at you at a high rate of speed and bump you so you're far enough away that you're off the tether. He may have thought that I was just sitting on the gate and went off to use the bathroom. And I'll have to rewatch the video, but he was closing range straight at me pretty quickly. So that was kind of fun. I've already had my fun for the night. That's awesome. I've also... Sorry about this. I've got an itch on my leg. This is what you really want to see. Yeah. Okay. My ugly fat head. Planet-sized head. Well, that was fun. Okay. So let that be... If that saves you a ship... never assume when you're in nullsec and you're tethered up that you're safe. So, if that wasn't what he was trying to do, that's fine too. So, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to show you. Remember how I had the safe spot? Oh, I never did finish that because he was flying at me. So, let's change this. Wait. Submit. Maybe it just... There it goes. Okay. Now, why is that blinking? Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to warp back to that save spot.
Warp drive active.
Sorry, major itch on my leg. Feels so much better. Gonna have to go grab some hydrocortisone soon. There we go. Good. Alright, you really didn't need to see that. Okay, so notice now I'm within 14.3 AU of this gate. Another thing that you want to do. is you want to have your directional scanning up. Um, let's see here. We're going to go ahead and pull up. We've already proven that there's a guy out there hunting people, possibly. So all I'm going to do here is I'm going to pull up my directional scanner, and I'm going to pull that there. Drop it right down here. I want everything within view of different things. Now this is, in my mind, this is passive information. This is active information. This is stuff that I'm going to be, if I want to keep an eye out for things, I'm going to be actively either hitting the scan button or hitting V is a hotkey, or you can make it any hotkey that you want. But if you're in a safe spot that's in between two areas, don't, again, assume that you're safe. What you want to do is just keep this open and just keep an eye out for D-scans. Or not D-scans, for combat probes. Okay? So there we go. We've already accomplished two things. I made some content where somebody was trying to kill me and I avoided it. And number two, I created a save spot within Orville, so maybe down the road I might be able to save myself. Now, the other thing here with your D-scan is, notice it's between 14.3 AU down here. I can now D-scan from here the Orville gate to see if anybody's put any warp bubbles on it. So if I'm trying to get back out of NPC nullsec, it's a great way to figure it out. I've been saved 100,000 times, not that many, but of just having these little save spots that don't go away. So now that we've done that, I'm going to warp back to the station.
Warp drive active.
It was really kind of funny. I don't think I've ever had anybody try to bump me off a station. I think a long time ago I actually got killed by somebody when I assumed and I went on a bathroom break. Yeah, the easiest thing to do is just dock up. If you are tethered on an area, just dock up. There's no reason not to that I can think of. If you are going AFK for a second. Okay, so we had a new guy. This is another thing. Remember my passive part here? Notice the guys here. This guy just entered. Now, I haven't done this in a while. One thing that you can do is hover in here and press Control A. Okay? Now, if you have a lot of people in system, what you can do is hit Control A and leave it like that. And if somebody new comes into system, we'll see if it changes here. They will pop up in a where they're not highlighted. So hopefully we'll get somebody to come through here. Now, let's go ahead and double check our map again. And just want to make sure nobody died there, nobody died here. Good. Now let's make sure that the number of ships has not spiked. Pilots in space in the last 30 minutes. What I'm looking for here is whether or not it's spiked. So it's actually gone down in the last 30 minutes. That is good news. That says, hey, let's get out of here. Now notice we went from 4 guys here to 3. So let's make a run for it. Now what I'm going to do is, as I fly toward FD, I'm going to make a second save spot. So I'm going to go ahead and see, there is, I'm not so worried right now about somebody setting up some interdiction spheres. I'm sorry, warp disruption spheres. Or is it interdiction? I don't know. But what I do want to do is create save spots. Now, can I do a simple one here? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pull up my solar system map. There we go. We're going to go solar system. Now the gate that I want to go through is FD. Now the nice thing with this is there are multiple spots in the system that are near this gate. So I don't have to warp directly to it. What I can do is, and that's kind of funny, this station is called a rewarp point. So in other words, somebody set this station up just to be that spot they can go to. I'm going to fly toward this station, but drop a save point between the two. So we're going to warp. I'm going to warp to the station at 100. While I'm flying,
Drive active.
I'm going to name this FD Tech. There we go. And as I get closer, now I'm within 14.3. Doesn't really matter to me. Now I've got a second save spot that I can warp back to. Notice I warped to the station. Now I'm only 1,000 kilometers off of FD, so that's pretty cool. Not seeing any interdiction spheres, so yeah, warp scramble, there's warp disruption. It doesn't matter. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump through and cross our fingers. If we can get through this next one,
Drive active.
this is probably the scariest part. There's going to be other spots, but this is kind of the scariest part of going into something like this. If I make it through here, I'll make a save spot, and then I'll probably log off because I've actually accomplished a lot. Let's see what happens. Cross our fingers. Nobody in system. See, this is big. Nobody's in system. Even if there is a warp disruption sphere, I get off of gate. We've got another spot. Warp within 0.
Warp drive active.
Will be safe, and I am warping away from PF Tech. There we go. So now I have a safe spot near the PF Tech gate. I've got, so this whole entryway now has some spots to make it easier for me to get in and out. And I now know that there's 2 Astra houses as of right now are accessible to being tethered. Again, don't want to be stuck with this. Now the one other thing you want to be careful of, and this is just going a little bit even farther on a level, if, let's just pull up the map here. Well, I'm going to warp back to this safe spot that I made.
Warp drive active.
Do I have anything in my cargo I can drop? We get a gas pass key. Because I want to show, and I hope this works. So this is going to be a little bit iffy. I'm going to drop this here. I think this will happen. We're going to go ahead and jettison this passkey. Yep. Now this is at this save spot. Now you would say to yourself, oh, you must be safe except for combat probes. And I need to keep my directional scanning up. But I don't need a directional scan as long as I got nobody in system. There are a few ships out there, higher level ships, that are not affected by directional scanning. So you want to be a little bit careful with that. Now the other thing, and I want to try to experiment with this for a second. Now there's nobody in the system, so I got a chance to do this. I probably could have done this in high sec, but I like to take chances when I'm on a ship that's worth less than like 200 million-esque. So I dropped this cargo container. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fly to the gate, and then I'm going to fly back to the station. I want to see if this cargo container shows up on grid for me as I fly through on warp. I'm not sure if it will or not. We're going to find out. Warp within, I want to put this at 30.
Warp
Just in
drive
case somebody were to
active.
come through this gate while I'm messing around like this. Because remember, while I was flying from the gate to the station, I dropped that save point. So there is basically a straight shot from one to the other. Now this is the station that I went to.
Warp drive
So I'm going to
active.
fly. Notice how these Lancers are on grid now. The big question is, these will go away as I get to about 5 AU off. Will that cargo container show up on... There it is! See that cargo container? So there's the second part. So somebody can actually see you just sitting there. Okay? And if they wanted to, they could even try to drop a save point while they're flying through at warp. Have a slight chance of landing on you so they don't need those combat probes. Now, one other way to, and the reason they were able to do this is it's a direct spot from one to another. So, one way you can get around this is to create an ultra safe spot. Now, it's still, not safe from combat probes when you don't have a cloak. But,
Warp drive active.
go warp back to the safe spot. And I'm going to pull up my map. Make sure I can still keep an eye on local. Why did that not move? Is my connection going bad? So while I was flying, it should have moved my bubble. Maybe I had already flown far enough that it went that far. Okay. So, since I was going from the gate to the station, where is that station here? I think it's... thought if I hovered over it... There it is. So as I'm flying from this gate to the station here... Yeah, there it is. Okay. It's got that spot there. What I want to do to make an ultra safe spot is go from the first save spot to a second random celestial. Let's say I pick this asteroid belt here. I'm going to go down here and I'll just pick a random moon. Warp within 100.
Warp drive active.
And as I'm flying there, see my bubble move. I drop another save spot here. So what that does, we got a Gaio entered system here. So actually I'm going to try to do this whole, show you here, Shift A, Control A, there we go. So if anybody else enters system, I want to show you that if it pops up. So now what I have is a second save spot, but it's ultra safe. It's the only way somebody could really know how to find me would be to use combat probes. Safe 1, there we go. And now I'm just going to warp back to it. By saving it as safe 1, that just tells me it's a miscellaneous save spot. That might be anywhere within the system. It's just a spot to go to an emergency exit area. It doesn't have any specific thing about it. Aha! And see right there, notice how I had the Control A centered and somebody else entered system. Now it shows him as black and the other two highlighted. This is really, really big, especially if you're running fleets. or have a lot of people in the system, or like, let's say 20 people in the system, you're kind of trying to keep track of who's around and who isn't. Now he went away. Um, let's say there's 10 people in here. You hit Control A. Let's say that 11th person comes in. You are able to recognize who is the new person in system, who just came in. So, okay, just hit 30 minutes. Pretty good video today. Or not tonight. I'm kind of glad I booted in. I actually went to play this one because my other character had some busyness going around in his system. So I thought I'd just get a little bit of a head start on this. But that's all I got for this one. I'm going to keep continuing my trek out to the lands of Ore. I can't think of the name of the system. If I can make it there with just a 2-day-old alpha character. Well, it's not actually this on a mega character, but he doesn't have any cloak or anything like that. We're going to see what happens. So, that's all I got for now. Hey, fly safe, fly dangerously, fly however like you want. Oop, notice somebody else just came in. And I will talk to you soon. Have a good one. Bye-bye.